Hello and welcome to some One Piece TCG locals action out here in Las Vegas. My name is Jake. You can also call me Atrocious, and today we've got round 2 of the Darkside locals tournament. First of all, thank you so much to Darkside Games for allowing me to film the local tournament that went on this day, and then thank you also to the players for allowing me to film their game. This is actually going to be a Sakazuki mirror match, so we're going to see how this goes. I know the Sakazuki mirror is one, if you're preparing for nationals, you definitely want to be ready for. It is grueling, it is difficult, and it is, I mean, it's tough. It's very, very tough to pilot in a mirror match. It can swing at any point, so you have to best utilize your resources as much as possible. Make sure as well, with the link in the description below, if you're looking for One Piece TCG singles, head over to Darkside Games' online website where you can go get those singles. Even just clicking on the link, even if you don't buy anything, can help out the channel. So thank you so much, but enough talking. Let's just get into the game. And so the player on the left, Josh, he is going first. Josh is actually a pretty good player in his own right, getting 3rd place at Pasadena Nationals with Green Purple Doflamingo. Although he doesn't like to brag about it, I'll say. So starting off, both players going to keep their hand, going to 4 life, the old fist bump to go, and Josh is going to go first. Starting off with a Kuzan, Sabo, Manchuri, Suru, and I think the other card is a Hina, the 3-drop Hina, the blue Hina. And first going to use leader effect to draw and just passed a perfect turn 1 really for Sakazuki. And so really a perfect turn 2 as well, getting off a brand new for our Sakazuki player on the right. Gonna get Kaido, brand new, or Rob Lucci. So thinking about what he should do next, and so just going to use leader effect to trash an Ice Age. And now the 3 Dawn turn for Sakazuki, gonna be putting down this Hina potentially, this Hina right here. If you have 5 or less cards in your hand, draw 1 card, so perfect to continue to build your hand and your status. So you're gonna now be using leader effect to trash the Sabo, draw a card. Gonna be getting a 2K Tashigi. Definitely like to see that, especially if you took the first life as well on that 5K swing. It did happen pretty fast if you missed it, but the right player now using leader effect, trashing the Hina, perfect card to trash because it's great combo off of the Rebecca. At 4 Dawn now, a couple different options for him. You could swing with the Sakazuki and then like bench a Rob Lucci if you have one in hand. We know that we did trash one earlier, but not sure if you would want the full value of that. So instead, just opting for using the Rebecca and then just grabbing a character and then continuing on. So going to be at 5 Dawn now for the player on the left side. And thinking about what he wants to do, there could be like a Tashigi pitch. You could utilize Tashigi to potentially minus some characters, but you also have Great Eruption in hand, and I believe in Ice Age. So you've got a couple different opportunities to lower characters for, you know, some spicy plays that you got going on. So pitching the Ice Age for the leader effect, and then swinging 5, the Rebecca is going to take that, and now swinging 5 again with the Hina. So going to be countering out of that, now pitching 4 to put down Kuzan. Kuzan really, really good if it does stick on the field, to minus some characters to help your math out in bottom decking or KOing. So interesting choice there. Going to first on the right side do 1 to minus 2 on the Great Eruption, draw a card right there, and with 5 Dawn left, going to be resting 2 now. It's going to be a Houndblaze to bottom deck the Kuzan, a perfect target for the Great Eruption Houndblaze combo, and that boost on brand new is going to be taking a KO on Hina, 6K swing into a 4K body. Josh is just going to take that on the left, and then swinging 8 at leader, and then taking that life. Player on the left now with 2, player on the right with 3, going into the next turn. So Josh going to be thinking about what he wants to do. He's got some Borsalinos in here. He's got the Subaru, as I mentioned, and Rob Lucci. There's not a lot on the field at this point, so going to be pitching a Borso, getting a Borso. You are drawing through your deck a little bit, although you don't usually like seeing the same card that you pitched, but just going to be resting all 7 Dawn for that Borsalino and putting that brand new at the bottom of the deck. So here we go now. The next turn for the Sakazuki, I believe this is the 8 Dawn turn now for the blue-black leader to the right, and we'll see exactly what they want to do. The Borsalino is kind of a little bit of a problem. You have used a Great Eruption, Houndblaze, and pitched an Ice Age for your events at this point, so going to be swinging a raw 5 at leader, going to be putting that Borsalino down to 6, and player on the left now thinking about countering out of it. It is just a 1k counter that you need to do if you decide to counter out of this, and going to be pitching the Borsalino. So the Sakazuki player putting the Rebecca down, getting the Hina as well, and then using Rob Lucci, going to be putting back some cards. It looks like Kaido, Houndblaze, and I think it was another event card, probably Ice Age, if I had to take a guess. It's a little bit hard to tell from this angle, but then going to be passing off the turn. So you got rid of the Borsalino, which was nice on there. Again, board control in the mirror match is huge. In my opinion, board control is the biggest emphasis. I think a lot of people would agree, and the matchup really comes down to who falters on the board control first. I feel like once one side kind of falters on not being able to clear all the bodies or switch the advantage in board state, then the opposing player really just runs away with the game at that point. It's very hard to catch back up. So using leader effect to start off, pitching the Tashigi at the 9 Dawn turn, thinking about what they want to do. They have a pretty decent sized hand. I'm pretty sure they have card advantage to the player on the right, and a lot of things to work with. Thinking about playing the Rebecca. The Rebecca could grab a character or two, but first just going to be committing 1 Dawn and swinging 6, immediately using the Rebecca, and then Josh slamming down that Rebecca. Going to be grabbing Tashigi, but probably playing a different character right here. Going to be playing that Hina. So that is now a 2-1, and then here comes the Rob Lucci, just like from the opposing side, and just like that, the board state has completely flipped, right? The player on the right had Rebecca, Hina, Rob Lucci, and now the player on the left has Rebecca, Hina, Rob Lucci. So now at full 10 Dawn, still 3 life left in this one. We'll see exactly how they want to do this. It is 3 life to 2 at this point from right to left, and they're thinking about, I think, just swinging 5 right away. Could be swinging it into the Hina and then minusing some of the characters. So going to be swinging, I don't exactly know what they were swinging at, but the player on the left immediately Rebecca'd, and then the cost reduction is going to go on that Hina, making it a 2, and then Borsalino is going to put away the Rob Lucci, and it looks like the Hina is going to use the last of the Dawn to draw a card, that blue Hina there. So now both at 10 Dawn, it is player on the left's turn. You definitely like that you got rid of both Rebecca and Rob Lucci. You probably would have liked to get rid of the black Hina, but I think, you know, you did what you could. It's not too bad. And so Sakazuki starting off pitching a Kuzan and getting a brand new off of that. They don't necessarily have a ton of top end, but I don't think you need a lot of top end in this matchup. There is a Great Eruption that you can use to reduce costs. You could use Branu to look for something else to potentially reduce costs, and that's what he's going to start doing. There is a Dracul Mihawk in there, so won't be grabbing the Dracul Mihawk, getting the blue Hina, but this is an interesting tech card that some Sakazuki players can play, playing that 9-drop, 9,000 power Dracule Mihawk. Very, very good at bottom decking characters and really helping out the strategy. I know this is kind of a variant that our locals, some people have been cooking up, and I think we'll be able to showcase, if my memory serves correctly, some other matches of that in the near future. So we'll see exactly how that goes if he plays the Mihawk today, how good it is in the mirror match and whatnot. But with 8 Dawn left in the turn, thinking about using Great Eruption and going to be doing that. Going to do a cost reduction. I'm curious to see which one he'll cost reduce. I think it just really depends on what the hand looks like at this point, because you definitely want to, if you're going to commit the Borsalino, right, you're going to have to do a little bit more, I would think. So thinking about what he wants to do, trying to do the math in his head. It looks like he has another Great Eruption there, and he's also got that Suru again. So if you Great Eruption and Suru, you might have an opportunity for Rob Lucci later, because you also have the minus from your leader. So going to be opting for the Borsalino, putting it to 5, and then swinging 5 now at leader. I don't know exactly which character was minus, but going to be using a 2k counter out of that, and then placing 4 down. That's going to be on the Borsalino, and then playing that Rob Lucci to get both of them. So now with 4 characters on board, it's looking a little tough for our player on the left. Board state is starting to stabilize on the left side. I'm sorry, I think I said the left was in a tricky spot, but the player on the right is in a tricky spot. Apologies for that. They're both playing Sakazuki. It's tough when you don't know your lefts and rights, but going to be starting off playing a Rebecca Hina combo right there. Going to be putting that Rob Lucci to 0, and now with 6 Dawn left, going to be thinking about what they want to do in this. I would imagine that they're going to swing 5 at leader, minus 1 leader effect to that Black Hina there, and then going to be using Rob Lucci to pop both of those. Still got 2 Dawn left in this one, so could use a Hound Blaze to get back and take away the brand new. That could be a nice option to help you out a little bit, but I definitely think Mancherry is not a bad play here either. Going to be getting the Rebecca and putting that Rebecca back in hand and passing the turn off to Sakazuki on the left side. I gotta keep remember to say left or right. So looking at the trash real quick, and with all the cards bringing back into the deck from like Rob Lucci and stuff like that, and Mancherry, not a lot of stuff in the discard pile for the player on the right, but player on the left now going in for this 10 Dawn turn, thinking about playing Rebecca and or Sabo. Don't think that would be a bad idea really. So going to start off swinging 3 into Mancherry. Just going to be taking that, actually only 2 cards in hand for the player on the right, so not too much you can do unless you want to give up the blocker, right, of Rebecca. So going to be thinking now exactly where he can go from here. I think has a Mancherry of his own. Got Rebecca and Great Eruption. Going to be playing that Great Eruption, drawing card into another Great Eruption. You definitely don't mind seeing Great Eruption into Great Eruption. Really helps out your mount sometimes. And Great Eruption into Hound Blaze could be really, really good. So getting the Rob Lucci and the Hina to 2-1 each on there. And then you've got another cost reduction in the Sakazuki swing. They have a Rob Lucci in hand that they could play to get rid of the Black Hina and Black Rob Lucci on the right side. So thinking about potentially doing that maybe with the rest of your hand, because you have 8 Dawn left, utilizing like playing Rebecca blocker down. I can't remember if the player on the left has one in the hand. Could just attach the Dawn to the different characters because you know they have a small hand, and so going to be swinging 6 at leader, and they're going to take that one there now at 3 cards in the hand. Definitely the small hand size helps you out, and going to be playing that Hound Blaze, going to be bottom decking the Rob Lucci and powering up the Sakazuki now to 8,000 power. And so going to be resting 5 Dawn, just protecting his characters from a opposing Rob Lucci. Going to be drawing 2 cards and then having to bail on 2. So thinking about Borsalino and Toshigi here, getting rid of those. And then swinging 8 at leader. So going to be taking that now at 1 life left. It is 2 life on the left side and 1 life on the right. So drawing now for turn. Still got a Hina on board. Still have a Rebecca now with a little bit more in hand, taking 2 life and the draw for turn. I think they're at 5 cards now in hand. So going to be seeing what they can work with a 5 card hand at this point. The player on the left having, I think, 6 cards in hand, maybe 4 or 5, 2, 3, 4. It looks like 4 cards. And so going to be starting out with an Ice Age. So probably putting the Ice Age, I would imagine, on the Sabo and then Hound Blazing it immediately. I think the boost was onto the Hina right there. So Hina Battle, Hina Violence. Going to be taking that knockout, doing a good job kind of clearing the board right now. So we'll see how the player on the left will be able to respond. So swinging 8 at leader, going to be taking that life and then going to be resting 4 Dawn to play a Borsalino. Borsalino not being able to be KO'd by effects like Rob Lucci, but still opposed to be bottom decks. So now the player on the left's turn. That brand new, don't forget to active that brand new, but going to be using another brand new, another Dracula Mihawk. So at least 2 Mihawks in this list. Going to be grabbing the Suru right there. We'll see if Josh remembers to bring up this this brand new here as active. Could actually help him out a little bit, but going to be using a leader. Oh, there he goes. Going to be using a leader effect to trash a brand new, draw a Hound Blaze. So Hound Blaze can be very nice to get rid of that Borsalino potentially. I think you would have to put down a Suru in order to do that though. Which honestly not too much of a terrible thing at this point. I feel like you definitely don't want too many blockers to potentially get on field, and you definitely want to get rid of bodies. There could be, let's see, I think Josh has 8 Dawn left, so could do like a Rebecca play to find another character. And that's exactly what it's going to do right here. Maybe grabbing this Hina. Going to be using the Hina to minus the Borsalino. So putting that Borsalino to 0. Going to bottom deck it immediately and going to power up one of his brand news there. He can swing with one. He can't swing with the others. So as long as he remembers that, then this will be a fair game. So going to be swinging that at life and the player on the right taking it. And so swinging 5 then. There. Oh, didn't he just play? Oh no, Josh. Oh no, wait. And so yeah, so doing the instant replay, this is the Baranu that just came down in the beginning of the turn. And then here goes to swinging with 2 Brandons. So I'm going to have to tell Josh about this in the Discord, and then everybody's going to have to make fun of him. But anyways, I don't know, like, if we're seriously looking at this board state though right now, I don't know exactly. I mean, obviously it makes a difference, right? Because there's an extra swing that comes in right here that could be influential. But honestly, like looking at the board state with the Hina there, the Rebecca, you know, the hand is constantly dwindling down for the player on the right here. Like you could have just attached the 2 Dawn to like this Borsalino, and yeah, they might be at 1 life left, but you'd still be able to get like almost essentially a same board state, and then the opponent has to take these 2 knockouts and get rid of these 2 characters. And although we don't exactly know what's in their hand at this time, there's at least a Hina. I don't know. I think they just also found a Hound Blaze. So we'll see if we can get a peek at their hand, or if they play out a lot of their hand, if it kind of like would have made a difference really. So we'll see exactly how this goes. I have officially let Josh know, the player on the left, but again, I don't know if it's exactly going to matter in here. So let's just continue as if everything was done correctly at this point. So the Sakazuki on the right, first swinging with the Hina, going to be immediately blocking there. Now no more blockers on field. And so now thinking about what he wants to do. Going to be resting for Dawn there. Oh, maybe not. Potentially with the 4 Dawn, could be playing a Hina, could do a Rob Lucci. So going to be swinging 5 at the brand new and then minusing that Hina right there. If they have like another Great Eruption type thing or something of the sort, could use that in combo with Rob Lucci to take a knockout. So we'll see how, and it looks like he's going to be countering 2 out of that. So here's another thing as well, especially if there's a like Rob Lucci play that happens. Josh would have probably countered out if he instead swung at this one and this one was active. So we'll see exactly where this goes. It is going to be a Sabo right here. So drawing 2 cards and going to have to pitch 2 at this point. And so going to be pitching a bottom deck Borsellino and a Rebecca as well. So 5 Dawn left. Still could do like the Great Eruption. Oh, and it looks like he's just going to scoop. Just having a Rebecca and a Houndblaze in the hand. Unfortunately, couldn't pull that one out. Again, like I don't know if it exactly would have mattered in the match if Josh didn't accidentally swing with a brand new that came down on the field, but could be something to keep in mind. So thank you again so much for watching in this one. This was a fun one to watch, and I know we've got some more excellent stuff on the way. I appreciate you if you have watched the videos and stuff like that. And make sure again, go check out Darkside Games for the singles link in the description below.